Season 22 brought some new balance changes to the game, some new legendaries, as well as seasonal themes. We're going to talk about some of those changes and what I think is the best class to play in Season 22. Disclaimer, before we get into it, these are my opinions on what the best class is for Season 22. It's okay if your opinion is different. Some of the factors I took into account, but not all of them, are how powerful the build is, how many variations do they have to break up the monotony, is it a solo build, is it a group build, can it do both? So those are just some of the factors that I use, and of course, how fun is the build to play. Thanks for watching. My name is the Pchild, and let's recap Season 22 in case you're not up to date with all of the changes. We're getting 2 seasonal themes, Shadow Clones and a 4th cube slot. The Shadow Clones will spawn every time you click a pylon or a shrine during the season. Think of them as an extra follower like the Templar or the Enchantress, only they don't suck. They'll help you kick some butt for a minute, then disappear or until you die. The 4th cube slot is an extra slot on Kanai's cube that allows you to put any legendary effect available to your class in that slot. Weapons, armors, rings, amulets, doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter what your favorite class is. Every set and build in the game just got juiced up for Season 22 because of the extra cube slot. So even if you don't get any major buffs or changes to your favorite builds in the game, don't worry, it's still going to be fun this season. I'm ranking my top classes based off a few factors: GR clearing power, speed of T16 clears, speed and level of the Greater Rift speed farms, the newness of the build. Is it something brand new this season, or has this build been around for a long time? And does it support group play or solo play? And then a subjective stat of, is it just fun to play in general? In the 3rd position, we have Witch Doctor. It was hard to pick this 3rd slot. I can easily see people running the new Crusader builds or the Wizard Twister instead, but the playstyle and compatibility with group play for Witch Doctor just kind of edged it out over the other 2 classes for me. And historically, probably my least favorite class in the game, Witch Doctor takes that 3rd spot on the list of fun classes to play this season. It did receive some changes in Season 22. Blizzard tried to bring zombie bears back from the grave and attempted to make speed chicken a thing again, but Mundunugos is always a good time, and unfortunately at the time of this recording they fell short on those goals of making zombie bears and chicken speeds a thing. However, I feel like there's still a small possibility that both of those things will get a little love before Season 22 officially drops, but even if they don't, Mundunugos is still very fun to play with speed variants for both T16 and Greater Rifts. The power of Mundunugos is outstanding. Solo and group clearing potential is very high. It can easily jump into group play and clear trash in the 4-player meta, and it's quite possibly one of the most satisfying feelings in the game to delete an entire screen of trash. Mundunugos is what makes Witch Doctor viable this season. I know it's been out for a little bit and there's a potential that you've already played it, but if you haven't, it makes Witch Doctor a solid choice. It's very powerful solo and it's very powerful for group. Speed runs are still very decent. Coming in at number 2, we have Demon Hunter. If you didn't play God DH in Season 21, well, you should definitely play it in Season 22. If you're not familiar, God DH is an acronym standing for Gears of Dreadlands. So it's really kind of a god set because it's overpowered, but that's really not where the name came from. Unless it gets a last minute nerf, which I don't expect, the Gears of Dreadlands DH, aka God DH, is going to once again reign supreme in Season 22. It's powerful. I mean, super powerful. You get movement speed, it auto fires your last primary used, you do 10,000% damage with the set, you get damage reduction while you're strafing, it's fast, and with the 4th cube slot, it's going to be tanky as well. Overall, it's just a fabulous set. I have a video for T16 speed builds for Gears of Dreadlands. It has the potential to clear T16 rifts in under a minute, and even your slow rifts are usually still under 2 minutes. Speed GR 110s in just a few minutes, and push close to the GR cap of 150 in the hands of capable players. The DH Shadow Clones seem to put in work at lower levels, making the season start and early GR farms even easier. The 4th cube slot is going to be insane for both speed clears and Greater Rift pushes. And then for group play, there are DH speed metas you can get going, as well as running a 0 DPS support DH, aka ZDH, giving you even more options for farming. The only downside to DH is how powerful Gears of Dreadlands really is. UE Multi-Shot is a fan favorite. It's super powerful, but it's just not going to be used that much now that the Gears of Dreadlands exists. The same can be said for Impale DH. I mean, sure, you could RGK with an Impale Demon Hunter, but chances are your team would secretly wish that you were a Crusader and probably would have a hard time finding teams to play with. For Season 22, DH is in a wonderful spot, and if you didn't try it out in Season 21, you should definitely play Demon Hunter in Season 22. And coming in at that #1 spot, dun dun dun, it's Necro. We already knew it was Necro. If you've been hanging out on my live streams on twitch.tv/the you would already know that we're going to play Necro this season. It's just too powerful. Bone Spear got some love in the form of Gelminder's Morrow. These bracers juiced up Bone Spear damage by 400%. Bone Spear is going to be a monster of a build. It has both speed variants and push variants. Bone Spear is going to allow you easy access to Greater Rift speed farming in the 105 to 110 levels insanely fast at the start of the season. It's not just Bone Spear that got love though. The 4th cube slot buffs Necro as much as any other class in the game. Oftentimes it's not the most exciting choice. Most of the builds are just throw a Relina Shadow Hook in that 4th slot and go to work, but it is extremely powerful. Necro's variations and builds are a big factor on why I gave it the top slot for Season 22. You can Singularity Mage speed farm, you can Corpse Lance speed farm, you can Bone Spear speed farm, you can also group up in the best speed meta in the game, aka rat runs, which if you're sick of them, sorry, and if you haven't done them before, they're really fun at first. Both as the damage dealer or the support 0 DPS Necro, aka Z-Neck. You can play 4-man metas as a trash clearer. I mean, Bone Spear, Poison Scythe, there are so many things that you can do with Necro. There are so many different builds. Ultimately, I think Bone Spear is going to be the top push build for solo play, but it does have a lot of variations and a lot of different builds that you can make that are still viable in the season to give you that variety to keep it fresh. And Necros also heavily benefit from that seasonal theme. The Shadow Clones put out good damage. The Necro build variation for the Shadow Clones is phenomenal. It's going to help your leveling. It's going to help your GR pushes. It just puts Necro at the top of my list as the most desirable class to play in Season 22. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Do you have a different class on your tier list than I do? If so, leave a comment in the comment section below on what class you would pick and maybe why you're picking it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I will catch you next time. Peace.